Today I'm going to talk with you about the ninth stellation of the icosahedron and how to make it using the pattern that was provided in class. In class, each student was given 4 sheets of paper that has 12 different points on it that are formed with triangles. I want to talk about each part of the point for just a moment and discuss how I told students to fold these. 59C is what I consider a flap because it has a small section, and then 59C here is inside the shape, so it is not a flap. 43 is a flap because it has a dotted line with it. 50 is a flap and has a dotted line. So students were instructed to take each point and cut them out along the outer edge. They're going to cut out 12 of them. And as they cut these 12 out, they're basically matching the numbers that have the flap and do not have the flap to form their points on their stars on each one. So as I cut these, when I get right here between 52 and 53, notice there is a solid line right here, but I cannot fold those flaps unless I snip that little section right there between those two. So when I snip between them, I continue cutting around the outer edge. And now I'm ready for their next step. Once they cut out each of the 12 points, I've asked them to glue it to Christmas paper to give it a design on the outside. So what they would do is they would take glue and glue it to the back of the page, and then they would take their wrapping paper and their design would be on the back, and this would be the inside of the wrapping paper, so they glue it together. You have your pattern here, then your wrapping paper on the outside. So now let's talk about folding. How do we go about folding the icosahedron? What you're going to do is I fold the solid lines away from me to begin with so that I can see my lines that I'm folding on. So I fold it away from me to begin with, and then I fold it toward me because solid lines are supposed to be folded towards you. But I fold it away so that I can make sure that I'm getting on that line to begin with. I fold it away, then I fold toward. And as I'm doing it with my wrapping paper, it gives it a design on the outside, and then the stiffer the wrapping paper is, the more defined your lines are going to be. So I continue folding. And I crease it really good. And then I fold inward. And as you can see, the lines are forming. Crease it again. And got off right there just a little bit, so I want to try to do that a little bit better. Then when I get to my flap, I fold my flap away from me so that I can see that I'm folding on that line. Then when you get to this point and you fold it inward, since it's a solid line, it's going to fold towards you. The dotted lines we fold away from us. So I fold it. This one has it's connected, so I can't fold it until I come back and I snip it again. So I snip and fold back. Now that I've got it folded back, I'm ready to form my point. So what you're going to do when you go to form your point is you take your flap for A and you're going to connect it to the side that does not have a flap. So when you do this, this is where you might need an extra set of hands to help you hold it while you either glue it or tape the sides together. So for demonstration purposes, I'm just going to tape it together here. Close it up good. And this is what your 12 points are going to look like when you get them started. Of course, your wrapping paper would be on the outside. 44 here does not have a flap, but 50 and 52, 53 have a flap. So to start putting this together, you will find another point that has a 49 flap that will connect to 49 here. And you just keep connecting your flaps to the ones that don't have a flap, and then I tape it on the inside. And once you finish, you're going to have a big icosahedron with 12 points together. I look forward to seeing them.